Hey guys, so today we're going to talk about box method multiplication. And for today's box method multiplication, we're going to use 3-digit numbers and 2-digit numbers. And I would love just to go ahead and jump right in. So we have two numbers right now, 237 and 45. So the first thing that we really want to do is break these numbers up into their expanded forms. Now, expanded form is going to show each place value of the digits that we have for each number. So let's go ahead and see if we can do that. So we have 237. Now, 237 can be broken up into its three different place values. It's got its hundreds place, its tens place, and its ones place. So we're going to go ahead and break it up into those three different numbers. So 237 becomes 200 plus 30 plus 7. And there it is. The 200, the 30, and the 7 all broken up for you. Now, for 45, we have the tens place and the ones place. So we're going to take out the 40 and the 5. So 45 becomes 40 plus 5. That's really all we have to do with the two of those. So we are going to move on to the part where our multiplying is going to be getting a little bit easier. So I've already drawn our box. Now let's go ahead and put out our two numbers. We have 237 and we have our 45. Okay. Now, I decide how many boxes I need by the amount of place values in each number. So let's take a step back and look at 237. I have 1, 2, 3 places that I need to use for 237. So let's go ahead and write that in for our box. We've got the 200, the 30, and the 7. 3 different numbers, so I need this box split into 3 different spaces. Now, if we look back at the 45, it has 2 numbers, 40 and 5. So let's go ahead and put those along the left side. 40 and 5. I now split my box so that those two numbers are shown. Now, here's the step that seems to be confusing for a lot of people is how do you actually use this box to multiply? And I'm going to do my best to explain that today, and hopefully by the time this video ends, we'll all have a pretty good understanding of it. So, the numbers across the top multiply by the numbers along the left side. So as 200 comes down, this whole space is meant for the 200. And right here we have 200 times 40 and 200 times 5. And we're going to do that for 200, 30, and 7. So let's just go through and hopefully it'll make sense. So for this first box, we have 200 times 40. Now we know that 4 times 2 is 8, and we have 1, 2, 3 zeros to bring in. So we have 8,000. Then 200 times 5 is going to go here. 2 times 5 is 10, and we have 2 zeros to bring down from the 200, which gives us 1,000. Now let's move over to the next one, and we're going to go a little bit faster in our next problem. But here's the 30. This whole column is for the 30. Here we multiply the 30 by 40. Here we multiply the 30 by 5. You can kind of see the 5 goes along the bottom, the 40 goes along the top. So 40 times 30. Well, 4 times 3 is 12. And we have 1, 2 zeros to bring down. We have 1,200. Now we'll go to the under box. 30 times 5. Well, 3 times 5 is 15. We have that 1 0 to bring down, we get 150. Now for our last column, we have the 7. And for the top part, it's going to be 7 times 40. Well, 7 times 4 is 28. And we have to bring that 0 over. Then 7 times 5 is 35. And then those are all our numbers. We only have one step left, which is to add up all the numbers in these boxes. And I like to go in order. So highest number on top. We'll do 8,000, then 1,200. And I'm going to go ahead and check them off as I add them in. Then 1,000, then 280, then 150, and then 35. Alright, I've checked off all my numbers. I see them over on the left side. I can now add all these zeros and 5 is going to give me 5. 8 plus 5 plus 3 is going to be 16. Sorry for the delay on that one. 2 plus 2 is going to be 4, plus 1 is 5, and 1 more is 6. And then 8, 9, and 10 for our last number. So there's our answer. 10,665. Didn't take too long, but I'll bet we can do one more. Alright, so this one again, we're going to move a little bit faster. So 138, let's put it expanded. 100 plus 30 plus 8, it's got those 3 place values. Then we have got 92, which has 2 place values, so it'll be 90 plus 2. Okay, so 138 is going to go across the top as 100, 30 and 8. And then 92 is going to go along the left side, broken up into its expanded form, 90 and 2. The top part has 3 different numbers, so we are going to split them. And the left side has 2, so we're going to split them, which have 6 boxes. Now let's go ahead and multiply again. I'm going to go a little bit faster this time. So we have our 100 taking up all this space. 100 times 90 is going to give us 9,000. Now along the bottom we have 100 times 2, which is going to give us 200. In our next column we have 30 taking up this space. 9 times 3 is 27, if I got that right. Add in the 2 zeros. Yeah, that's right. 30 times 2 is going to give us 60. Snow days are getting me, I'm telling you. Alright, and then the 8 is going to be our last column. 8 times 9 is going to be 72. Bring in our 0. 8 times 2 is going to be 16. Alright, we have all of our numbers. So let's go ahead and line them up and add them. And again, I'm going to check these off as I bring them in. So we've got 9,000, 2,700, and see how I'm lining them up so that the zeros along this side line up. Then 720, then 200, then 60, and then 16. Boom. Let's add them up. So this last column is going to be 6 in the ones column, and 9 in the tens place. That's 14, 15, 16 in the hundreds. Carry the 1. And then that's going to be 12 in that space. So our answer is 12,696. Pretty simple. Oh, and there it is. There's our brain break. Goodness, I have no idea what I would like to draw, so I'm going to give y'all a shot of my backyard. So we have got our little porch right here, and it kind of comes out on our deck. And there's a post there. And then we've got our stairs that go across this way. You can see them kind of carry down. Right now there's quite a bit of snow on them. Okay, post comes out, boop boop. Okay, and we've got other posts inside, but I'm not going to draw those. And then we've got a nice rolling hill that comes up along with the fence going along the side. It kind of drops right there. Comes back up. Then we've got our other fence coming along this side. And at the top of this hill, we've actually built our picnic table. So there's our picnic table. There's the seat. Across the back, we've got another fence post. It's kind of going like that. And that's about as close as I can get. Just with this drawing app, but you know, doesn't look too bad. Maybe it does. Okay, so there's my backyard, as well as you can see it for the moment. I feel like that's a pretty good brain break. So let's go ahead and move on to our last problem. Okay, so we have our two numbers. Now, this time they're a little different because they're in a different order. We have our 2-digit number first and our 3-digit number second. So let's take our 2-digit number and split it into its expanded form. 24 becomes 20 plus 4. And 356 becomes 300 plus 50 plus 6. All right, 24 and 356. There they are. There's the box. So let's go ahead and do these as we would any other way. I have 356, and the other one was 24. So I like to take the bigger number and put it on top. So that's what I'm going to do because it's got more spaces, and I like to draw my boxes like that. So it's going to be 300, 50, and 6. And again, there are 3 numbers, so I need 3 boxes. The bottom one is going to be 24, and when I say bottom, I mean the one along the left side. 20 and 4, split them into 2. So now we can start multiplying. The 300 takes up this whole column. So 300 times 20 is going to be 6,000. 300 times 4 is going to be 1,200. And again, I don't expect you guys to always do your math this fast. This is just for the sake of time. The 50 is going to take up this whole space. 50 times 20 is going to give us 1,000. 50 times 4 is going to give us 200. Then we've got our last box over here, which I'm going to do in a green. 6 times 20 is going to be 1,200. 6 times 4 is going to be 24. Now, here's what we're going to do. Line them up and add them together. 6,000, check. 1,000, check. 1,200 or 1,200, check. 200, check. 120, check. And 24, check. Now you'll still notice everything is lined up along the right side. That way all my ones line up. So 4, 2 plus 2 is 4. 2 plus 2 again is going to be 4, but then again, can't forget this guy. That's going to be 4 and then 5. And then 6, 7, 8. And there we go. We have 8,544. That's our answer. Now we'll do a quick review and then I'll let you guys head back to class. Alright, so here are our steps. First step, you take your numbers and you put them in their expanded form. Like 356 becomes 300 plus 50 plus 6. it'll tell you how many boxes to make. So our second step would be to place your expanded numbers along the outside of the box that you draw. I like to put bigger numbers along the top and smaller numbers along the left side. But then you can make your boxes depending on how many numbers you have for each, how many digits you have, I guess, for each number. Number 3 would be multiply along your boxes. We can review that later on. I think sometimes that's the hardest step. And then 4 would be to add up your numbers. Once you've added everything through your boxes, you should have your answer. So you guys, thank you for hanging out with me. It's always fun just to kind of do these at home, and today was a nice snow day, so I'm pretty happy about it. And here's me and my toboggan, and I'm just hanging out. And I got a little unshaven beard thing going. That's kind of awful, but there you go. There I am. Okay guys, well, enjoy the rest of your day.